Congresswoman Mariannette Miller-Meeks is a member of the GOP Doctors Caucus, physician, veteran, and joins us now. Good morning to you. The president is trying, but the question is, are the American people buying what he's selling? What do you think?
I don't think so. If you look at his approval numbers, they're quite low. And here in Iowa, everyone's feeling the pinch of inflation. They're feeling the pinch of empty store shelves, not having goods, whether it's in our manufacturing sector or agricultural sector, even our healthcare sector. We're all feeling the pinch of inflation and supply chain issues, and the policies really that are self-made crises from this administration.
Yeah, you mentioned inflation, and that is the real issue that's affecting the American people, 8.5%. And then when you drill down into the numbers, just look at that. Regular gas up almost 50%, electricity 11%, used cars 35%. So expensive to get a vehicle these days. So should the president be doing more to get prices down, or is it gotten to a point where, the Biden administration and the Fed waited too long and now there's just not anything he can do?
Well, I certainly think the Biden administration and the Fed waited too long. The Fed waited too long to raise rates. And part of that was, I think some push from the Biden administration to keep rates where they were. But also the Biden administration could have done more. Even, economists on the left are saying the $1.9 trillion COVID relief package that we voted on back in March, which I voted against, should not have gone through and led to this skyrocketing inflation. So we're all feeling the pinch of that. There are other things they can do, stop pushing to get past the Build Back Better plan, which would only lead to more inflation. So you can't pump $6 trillion into economy and not expect to have inflation rise. So again, this is a self-made crisis, but they can do things about it. We can try to get containers moved out of the Pacific Ocean through the ports into the supply chain where it's needed. They can start oil and gas production, which from the agricultural sector, we need it for fertilizer and plastics and diesel. All of those things are part of the supply chain. And they he has made an attempt to make E-15 sales in the summertime, but it's a feeble attempt when you have a war on oil and gas.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask you about that E-15 because the president was in your home state of Iowa earlier this week talking about that. Obviously, corn is a big factor in ethanol. Some people say that it's a good idea. Others say it's not going to make any difference because only 2% of gas stations carry that level of gas. And the other factor is that if corn is going to gas, then it could jack up the prices of food. So there's a lot of different factors here. What do you make of that plan by the president?
Well, we support E-15 actually year-round, so we support that he made a move. But I think, they can send a broader signal by opening up, drilling on federal lands. They can, open up, reinvigorate the Keystone Pipeline. So there are things that can be done if they choose to do those things in order to help the American people. But they're very stubborn, and they don't seem to think that this is a problem. We've heard it. You've talked about it. First it was transitory, it's seasonal, every excuse. Now it's, Putin. But we know that, Vladimir Putin and the war in Ukraine doesn't have anything to do with the price hikes that we're experiencing now. And they're creating major headaches for the American people and American families.
Yeah, you heard that right. Congresswoman Mariannette Miller-Meeks.